Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with your host Erica Boisvert, and today I am joined by Katy, and that's all I'm going to say because I hate butchering people's last names.
No worries, Erica. Everyone gets it wrong. I'm Katy Schilthuis.
Thank you. And those are two last names.
Two last names, incredibly complicated last names at that.
But that's okay.
Yes.
You wear them well.
Oh, thank you.
So Katy is the owner of Mosaic Makers Collective.
Yes.
Here in town, but this is not your original location.
It is not.
All
So
right.
Waco is our new location, which is very exciting.
Super cool corner spot, which we'll get into.
Yes, and the building is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
So
much history there.
Yeah, Mosaic started in Dallas. We opened a little over 6 years ago in Bishop Arts. The Bishop Arts District is what it's commonly known as. It's southwest of downtown, and it's this really cool touristy area that feels like in Austin or Portland, and everything's local and everyone's friendly. It's the best little pocket.
Oh, that's very cool. I have to go up there this weekend. Maybe I'll try to go check that out.
Bishop Arts. I highly recommend it. I live nearby now. I'm obsessed with it.
Really? I love that.
It's the best neighborhood.
Okay.
I'm biased, but it's the best neighborhood.
But it is.
But I started my journey as an artisan. So I started a stationery company many years ago. Illustrated and made mugs, prints, cards, all the things, and started, running my own business in that sense. I was wearing all the hats. I was doing the accounting and the marketing and the making and the shipping, and I was every department there could be.
Yep.
And doing a lot of pop-up markets and selling in little storefronts where I could.
Okay.
And
were you doing like vendor fairs too?
Yes.
So you had to like pack everything up
like
all
the
the time?
farmer's market.
Sure.
The worst one was probably in 2017 where my shoes literally melted apart on the streets because it was so hot outside at the market.
Was that in Dallas?
It was in Dallas. It was actually ironically right in front of where my shop is now.
No way.
Yes. I was literally outside the front door, but I had no idea that would become Mosaic.
What?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Really,
not that
really
your shoes
weird
melted off.
No, but they literally, the soles melted off of the top of the flip-flops. And I didn't bring extra shoes. So my husband had to go find some at a store and bring them to me because I'm like, I can't be barefoot on them. Obviously, this is going to boil everything.
Clearly, you would walk away with blisters if you tried that.
So that was the hottest market I've done.
Okay.
But needless to say, those markets are tough, right? Yes. And you set up and you tear down. And in this Texas heat, especially draining.
Well, and in this Texas, I don't know what to expect today weather. If you're 3 hours away at a market.
Anything between February and November could be safe or could be terrible.
Could be.
And then January, you just don't do them.
Yeah.
Because then it's like likely ice or
definitely
85 degrees.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Or too hot.
You just never know. But I started doing these markets, and while I was doing them, I met so many incredible women who were doing the same thing I was doing. They were making product. They were running their own business. They were wearing all the hats, right?
Yes.
And they were every department, and everyone was feeling a little overwhelmed, to be honest. And I was too. So it kind of hit me over, the course of those couple of years of doing markets that I needed to pull together some sort of community around these artisans and these women, because we all wanted support. We all had support to give others and wanted a community around this.
I love it.
I didn't realize it would be retail. Until I walked into an empty space in the Bishop Arts District about 2 years later.
Okay.
So I was dropping off my cards at a store I had gotten into, and the store next to them was for lease.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the store I was dropping my cards off at mentioned it to me and said, you should open a stationery shop there.
Oh.
And my first reaction was, haha, yeah, right.
No thanks.
Yeah, right. But then I was like, wait, is this the community? Because I knew I couldn't on my own completely like start this business with just my product. But I was like, but wait a minute, I've got loads of women in my network who would probably also want to shop.
Yeah.
And also want a community. And what if we came together?
Yes.
So it was like this light bulb moment for me. And then 6 weeks later, we were open.
No.
So it was
6 weeks.
Yes. It was
Holy cow.
Crazy
Oh my
timeline.
gosh.
But I'm also someone who, when I want to get something done, I get it done.
You're a doer.
I just get it done. I'd rather be open and going than
open
building.
and figuring it out.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm so the opposite. I'm like, I need a plan.
Yeah. Well,
very
and
cool.
there's
Look at you
strengths
doing
to
it, though.
both. I mean, absolutely. But we opened in this very, very small space. It's not where we are now.
Okay.
It was about 200 square feet.
Oh gosh.
It was tiny.
Yeah.
And I had 7 women sign
Oh my
contracts
gosh.
with me.
Okay.
To join the collective. So there were 8 of us in total, and I ran the collective. I signed the lease. I did all that. And then they contracted with me on consignment. Well, sort of consignment, sort of like we worked shifts, and then we did some like community work as well. So we call it a collective model, but I built it out of my brain, out of nothing. And I've found a few other shops that do similar things now. So I think it works.
It sounds like, yeah, I can think of boom, 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 like a couple where it's starting to be a new, I love it because there's so many business owners out there who want a storefront, but on your own, it's not possible.
No, not
I mean,
at
especially
all.
with
And that was
prices.
exactly who I was too. I wanted that storefront, but not only that, I wanted community, and I wanted friends, and I wanted support.
Yes.
And so we started the shop about, I would say, a year and a half in. We quickly outgrew the space. We were at 15 artisans.
Wow.
And had a long wait list. And then the space across the street became available.
Okay.
And I jumped on it.
Okay.
And we opened there in March of 2020. Terrible timing, but very exciting. With 50 women.
50.
50.
50.
So we came to the rest of the wait list, and we were like, okay, you guys, you're in. Let's do this.
Wow.
That location kept expanding. And so in 2020, what is it now? 2025?
5, yeah.
Jeez, the years.
I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask me hard questions, Katie.
In 2024, we had over 100 women in the space, and we're looking at second locations because our wait list is so long.
Oh my
gosh. So it
gosh.
has really been an humbling and incredible journey to see these women come together and form this alongside me.
Okay.
We are a retail shop, but we also offer like full coaching and mentorship to the women who are involved. So we actually have coaches on staff who meet one-on-one with each woman to talk about her pricing, her packaging, her product, what's on trend, how to wholesale, how to run a business.
So then do you so since it's all kind of under your umbrella, I'm now my logistic brain is like, wait a minute, but what about, so are you all able to kind of pick and like, this lady is excellent at making mugs, but also she's a crazy good Instagram marketer. Yeah. Like great at making reels or something. Do you work with each other in that as well?
So we switched the staffing program over time just a little bit. It used to be that you had to work if you were a maker in the shop.
Okay.
When there were 8 of us, that was a bit easier. And then we started having a lot of women apply who were full-time moms or had full-time jobs. And they're like, well, I can't do that. So staffing became optional. But with that, we also lean on everyone in the shop to teach workshops. So we'll have a lot of workshops on creative things like watercolor or pottery.
Neat.
And then others on Reels and Instagram or marketing or branding.
Nice.
So those women really come together to just use their strengths to coach each other on what they know. It's incredible. Yeah.
You know, walking through the store, you're like, oh yeah, cute. Like a leather journal and a beautiful mug. And oh, I like that shirt. But you don't know all the behind the scenes, like the support structure, which is so needed.
Exactly. And I think that's what's kept us strong for so long, quite honestly. And you can see the visible difference in the sales charts for these women when they are coached and they make a change to a product or packaging or change a price. I mean, their sales go up. It shows. And everyone wins. Yeah. You know? It's like,
well, and being open to that is really neat too, to find like-minded women and that many like-minded women. But I think it taps into a culture that is so far kind of untapped. Like, what a cool way to bring everybody together.
Exactly.
God, I love this so much. But also because that's very much close to my heart. That's why I have this podcast.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, wow.
And I have met so many like-minded women. And it's been so wonderful to see so many who believe in a concept like this have similar concepts. It's great.
This is so crazy good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are hustling, bustling, bursting at the seams, grow into a bigger space. And is this the space that your shoes melted in front of?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where, so that is where you currently are. And then bursting out of the seams, you came
to Waco.
Here.
I did.
What was the appeal of Waco Town?
That's a great question. And it's one I get a lot.
I'll bet.
And it was a few things, really. Okay. One, we knew we wanted to expand. At this point, I had a management team with me who was kind of touring a few cities with me and helping me formulate ideas.
Nice.
We wanted to be within 3 hours of Dallas because I wanted to be able to, should there be an emergency, get in the car and get there.
Yeah.
Because it's our second big location and it's the first time we're really expanding far away.
And still your baby. You still want to be able to help.
Still very much my baby, though I am learning to give that up too, which is a big lesson.
That's the hardest lesson for entrepreneurs, I think, period, is letting go of that first baby.
Letting go of that control, trusting others.
Yeah.
But let me
can't
tell
do
you,
it like I can do it.
It's one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh, I'll bet.
I mean, it's the only reason we're growing. Like, if I didn't give this responsibility to other women who believe in the mission, like, we'd be nowhere. Nowhere.
Well, and you can't be in two places at once, or 3 or 5 or whatever it becomes.
Exactly.
Very cool.
And so we toured a few areas, Waco being one of them, and we actually came to Waco twice and looked at property. We liked Waco because there's still a lot of love for like local artisans and creativity.
Yes.
There's also tourist traffic from the silos. So we were also looking around the silos for that reason.
Sure.
Because in Dallas, we find our success comes from a balance of tourists and locals.
Yep.
And weekend is pretty much all tourists and weekdays is pretty much all locals.
Okay.
So we knew if we could find a similar mix
in
a similar city, it would be great. Looked at a few buildings. None of them really felt like us.
Okay.
We in Dallas were in an old auto garage.
Like
literally,
we. Do you still have like the big garage doors?
It opens sideways, and my women have to pull it open every day by themselves.
That's so cool.
Yes, it's amazing. And old buildings have so much charm. They're so unique, and so we knew we wanted something unique.
Okay.
We'd been looking around, finally get in to see the Percy Medicine Building.
Yeah.
And we walk in, and it was like, okay, this is it.
This is home.
This is exactly us. This is what we need.
The brick and the wood floors and the
history,
all of the gorgeousness.
The history. And it doesn't look anything like the auto garage, but it feels like it in the sense that it's this really amazing historical space. And so much has happened there. And you can walk in and be like, I wonder how many people have been through this door. You know? And so we took time to make it ours, build it out once we signed the lease, and then opened in September.
Wow. And how's it been going?
Really well. Really well.
It's such a cool, okay, so we kind of touched on it earlier, but that corner location is, ma'am.
Yes.
You can't get, for somebody who's like, yeah, we want to be kind of where the tourists are. Yep.
Exactly.
There you are. So for people who don't know, it's right on the corner of 8th and, is that Clay or Webster?
Webster.
Yeah. So 8th and Webster, my brain just shut down. And that is literally kitty corner or catty corner, however you want to say it, from Magnolia Home.
And the press.
And the press is right there. So you have, and then you've got Southern Swings just opened in that back space. Like, hello. There's so much going on right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's an incredible location. And I
really
mean, that sold us. And then the building itself and its charm and its history sold us. And it was actually really incredible. I picked up the keys, I think August 1st of last year.
Okay.
And went into the basement just to like look at things because we have some storage down there.
Oh,
there was old Percy medicine bottles. In the basement, old meeting records, like all kinds of amazing historical. And it was just like, this has just been living here for so long.
And nobody's touched it or
no.
Were the labels still like on tacked on them? No, that's
some of them still had their packaging, like the boxes, everything. So we actually really leaned into that and we created our own apothecary line within Mosaic. That
very cool.
is a nod to Percy Medicine.
Okay.
And so all of the people representing the line are named after the real people who started the company.
That's so
and a
cute.
lot of like the Bath and Body Goods are like, herbal and but just the whole picking up on the vibe and making it something fresh. But
sure.
That was a really fun project too.
How fun.
Yeah.
What a neat discovery.
It's so cool.
So now you're definitely all moved in and comfy and it's built out. How's it been going What, 6-7 months in?
We're like 6 months in.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. We loved holiday season.
Okay, good.
Obviously, the big celebration is
Yep.
also like a big time for us to really get the word out about our artists.
Yes.
We actually had some doing celebration in the vendor market and then
Okay.
also selling with us. So that was a cool way to
Nice.
cross network.
Like, if you need more, go across the street.
Yes. And then we set up a free lounge for the vendors within our shop too. So when they were too hot, they could come get water and Wi-Fi and just
That's
be
very
a part
kind
of our community as well.
Oh, I love that.
So it's been really great. The response has been incredible. People
my
love it.
gosh.
And like you said, you can walk in. This is something I'm working on. You can walk in and you don't understand the complexity of what goes into this program. You
Yeah,
understand that this
no.
is a really pretty shop and these
Mhm.
items are
Really
amazing.
cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't understand that these women are all being coached and coaching each other and helping each other grow. And so I want to do a better job of storytelling that on the
Okay.
sales floor. You know, like
Okay.
have maybe some iPads. We have videos of makers making their product
Sure.
that we've made
Yep.
over time. So I think that will be great. Some signage. We do have some QR codes that lead to all of our maker bios online, but they're small. I really
That
want
would
to
be so
emphasize the
cool.
story.
I wonder if you
know?
could like hang some tablets and just let them play.
That was the goal.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, because I think that's such an important piece. And
Yeah.
we'll find customers walk in and they're so pleasantly surprised to be in the building and see what they see. But then we tell them
Guess what?
XYZ,
Mm-hmm.
this is what goes into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And they're floored.
Yeah.
And they're so much more excited to buy and support.
I
and
was
come
just
back.
going to say, I think it increases people's, like their heart opens and they're like, oh, I totally want to support that. Because I mean, the thing I'm sure you run into all the time as an artisan is that, yes, your stuff is going to be a little more than if I could just order a mass produced mug on Amazon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
But your hands touched it. Your
Exactly.
heart went into it.
And the hands of a local woman.
Yes.
More often than not. So not only are you paying her, you're paying for her kids to go to school. You're paying for
Yeah.
her to put food on the table. You're paying for her to get an education.
You're putting money back into your own community. That's why I love, love, love locals so much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Same.
100%.
Same.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Angles 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit angles90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com.
So where did the name, obviously it makes sense, but where did Mosaic come from?
Yeah, I played with a lot of names when I
Oh,
was
I'll bet.
getting started.
Okay.
I have a copywriter friend who's really good with like short phrases and names and words, and he came up with a list of, we probably had like 100 on there, honestly. It was kind of insane.
It literally is like
we
naming your
narrowed it
baby.
down a lot, and we really liked the idea of this concept of a mix of people who are all very different coming together to create one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we landed on Mosaic.
Yeah.
Because it's basically all of these women who are different races, different sizes. They make different things. They have different backgrounds. Some are moms, some are professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And they make one beautiful piece, which is the store itself.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love like your name, especially now hearing, all the glue that holds it together too,
Yes.
or whatever
Yes.
is also important, right? All the
Yeah.
coaching, all the business savvy, all the sharing,
Exactly.
being open to this concept.
Exactly.
What a great name for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really love it.
You
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Awesome concept, awesome name, awesome
Yes.
from start to finish. And obviously it's resonating because it's grown
Yes.
so quickly, really.
Yes. And it was obviously a need that not only I had
Mm-hmm.
as an individual, but women everywhere had.
Yeah, look at that.
And I'm just thankful I get to do this every day, honestly. Like that this
Aw.
came to fruition and others needed what I needed. And I have my community now.
Yeah,
You
look at
know,
that.
like I have support just like they have support from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
And it's all built in and you guys are working together. You all still get to be creative, feed your business side, make an income.
Exactly.
And that's like everything you could want it to
Exactly.
be. That's so great.
Yes.
So I have to ask, are you doing so well in Waco that you're thinking about continuing to expand? What does this look like? What is your, in 5 years, I want to rule the world plan?
So that's an interesting question. Short answer is yes, we want to expand.
Okay.
Longer answer comes with the question, how do we expand?
Okay.
Right? Because I think this could go far.
Yeah.
Really far.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got our Texas network set up. So an expansion to Austin or Houston or another city would be easy.
Yep.
I also think this can go state by state, and we could expand to a Oregon or a New York or an Oklahoma and have women from those states join those communities and be coached and sell. We've explored opening more on our own. We've also explored licensing opportunities where we can teach other women how to open this concept in other states.
Yeah.
And then we just actually built out a software that we're launching that helps run our business on the back end.
Okay.
And so that we're testing now. It officially launches in April.
Okay.
But that will roll into like how we manage everything moving forward. And hopefully we can give it to other boutiques as well. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really just like we're putting our hands into everything and seeing what sticks. And we're very excited to just keep pursuing this.
Did you ever in a million years think it would blow up like this?
No.
Nope.
Truly.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
No.
I did it. I felt like I was doing it a bit selfishly, honestly.
Really?
Because I'm like, I need friends, I need community. I need someone to explain to me how to do this marketing thing. Like, how does that work?
Yes. It's
And
super fun.
I was not the only one who,
no.
you know?
Yeah,
Thank
even
goodness.
like my community, real estate, that is, I think, the number one thing that agents are just like, ugh, I just want to do contracts and sell houses. But we also have to do, like you said, wear all the hats and do all the marketing and all the
And
things
it's
that are
not
like,
all fun.
No,
And creative minds aren't always great at the business side.
right?
I mean, the more creative, the better for the art side. But like accounting, not our favorite thing, you know?
Math, ew. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
But for sure, but you clearly have business acumen to have put this together. I know you're going to be like, no, it's just lightning in a bottle and everything's wonderful. But you have to have.
I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot.
That is exactly
Google
the
is my
answer I would
friend.
expect. Google is my friend.
I also think the biggest lesson I've learned in running a business is that no one really knows what they're doing.
Oh, that's super fair. Okay.
And I think when you're starting, you're intimidated by these people you see in the community who's like, oh, they must know it all.
Oh, they're established.
Like, how did they
They've
get
got
there?
it.
But everyone is literally figuring it out.
It's
Whether
like
or not they have a
parenting.
degree or whether, or like a relationship, a marriage, any, you know what I mean? Like, there's no one way to do something.
No.
There are a million right ways to go about it and succeed, but you need to find what's best for you. And so that imposter syndrome can really like get you down.
It's evil, isn't it?
It is. And
It is.
Fighting against that is so important because no one knows what they're doing.
But now you've got this, you know, what is it? Solidarity in numbers or safety in numbers.
Yes.
And you all can kind of lean on each other like, yeah, this is kind of hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What did you do today? How did you get around this?
Exactly.
Like, what a cool way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've actually done a lot of sessions and meetings, even with like therapists or on mental health or imposter syndrome itself.
Yes.
That was a big episode on my podcast. Actually, I talked to a couple of artisans and a therapist about imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And how to fight that. And it's one of those struggles you see in every business owner, truly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a friend. I meet a lot of business owners and they're in my circle. And
yeah,
I think we're all kind of like,
exactly.
And
it's scary.
You know, but you also need somebody to be like, yeah, you're dumb. You know exactly what you're talking about. You are absolutely an expert
that
in what you
encouragement
do.
is so helpful. Yes.
Encouragement. You're so sweet. That's probably the better word than you're dumb. But that's just how I am. So
yeah.
But that's very good. I love it. Again, not just female-owned businesses, but it encompasses, like you said, everything.
Yes.
Races, moms, not moms.
Yes.
Working with other jobs as well. You know, like all the balance that we have to find.
Exactly.
So I love this.
Exactly. And then a creative mix of mediums as well.
Yes.
You know, when you walk into the store, you have paper goods, you have a kids section, you have a guys section, you have jewelry, art prints,
Yeah.
home goods.
It's literally, if you need a gift for somebody,
Yeah.
you can find something.
Including the card and the gift bag.
And everything. And you're done. Out the door.
That's right.
That's so good. What is one thing that maybe you don't have, which I can't imagine you don't have anything, but what is one thing that you'd like to focus on building up within Mosaic Makers?
My team.
Okay.
So for
Like your support
starters,
team?
yes, for
Okay.
starters, they're incredible. And I should have done it sooner. And this kind of goes back to that comment I had made about learning to trust others with your business.
Yeah.
I have a full-time manager in Dallas and a full-time manager in Waco now, and they save my life every day.
Okay.
And the management team and all of the sales associates, incredible. And I think because we're so mission focused, the women align so truly, like so wholeheartedly with that mission that they're just excited to be there, and they want this to succeed just as much as I do.
Right.
And that means a lot to me,
It's
you know,
literal
but like
buy-in.
letting that go and giving others, delegating really what you're doing and knowing what I'm good at and what I'm not good at and saying, okay, Whitney or Jillian, this is yours now.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to lean more and more into that. We've done some hiring already this year that makes me really excited, and hopefully just more with time. But I know I can't do it all on my own.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So not just trusting the people around you, but trusting yourself to
Yeah,
let go
to
and
let
make
go.
good delegation choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really
And
tough.
no regrets for doing it so far. I mean, it's been terrific.
I feel like people always say that when they're like, when I finally hired that assistant, when I finally hired that social media manager.
You need them
like,
before you realize you need them. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're already treading water and you're like
Yes.
barely mouth above the
Exactly.
above the line, like, yeah, any help, all help is great help.
All help. Totally agreed.
Very cool. Okay. If somebody was very first time visiting either location,
Yeah.
what do you want them to know? Are you like, go check out the whole store, or go right for one thing? Or what do you want them to know? Because we've heard the background, but now let's get into like, what do your stores have like specifically?
Yeah. Like, what's the experience like?
Yeah.
So one thing I want to do with this digital media and iPad idea is really have one at the front of each store
Okay.
that plays these videos, and they can scroll through and get to know these women.
Neat.
Because I think the connection with the faces of these women up front is so important to understanding the importance of the product and what buying the product can do.
100%.
And then what I really like to do more of is more storytelling and signage around the women behind each product on the shelves.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily want someone to go to a specific section.
Okay.
I think each artist is going to speak to someone else in a different way, right? And it's interesting because we have artists who work in multiple mediums.
Okay.
So we'll have for example, a greeting card maker who also does stickers and pins and bookmarks.
Okay.
And you'll find that someone will wander the store with these products in different sections and gravitate toward the same artist
Huh.
with every piece they pick.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
obviously they have a voice, and people are finding that voice and liking that voice, and they're drawn to it. So it's not like a one section or even a one maker sort of thing. It's like there's something for everybody, right? And when you walk into both locations, up front is seasonal always. So right now we've got it set for spring. We just switched over from Valentine's Day going into summer. But then every section is so robust. And even our kids section alone, like toys, clothing, pacifiers, and like little lunch totes for kids and like stuffed animals, all the things, you know? It's incredible.
No, it really is. And I think,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't push anybody to one section. I think the joy of collective stores like that, vendor markets, is to see and touch and feel and experience all of the things.
Exactly.
And then stuff just kind of jumps out at you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're finding. And, you know, we thought about merchandising it like other vendor markets do up front, where it's by vendor.
Oh, yeah.
But we decided not to do that because we found that it was easier for our shoppers to say, here's all the jewelry.
Yeah.
I can see all of my options at once, and I like this one.
Yeah, I like that.
But we still want to make sure we're storytelling enough that they know which artist is behind which piece and who they're supporting when they buy it.
Yeah. There's so many cool ways that you can lean. I'm sure you guys will
Yeah.
market the heck out of that, but there's so many cool ways to lean into that.
Yeah.
Do you share your artisan stories on your Instagram?
I do.
And like
Yes.
get those videos out there? So that's
yes,
another.
we actually had like, I think around 10 or 12 featured for Black History Month.
Okay.
Over the the course of this last month because it's almost March. Jeez.
I know. February flew by. January lasted 5 years, but February's like here and gone.
It always seems to happen that way.
Right.
But no, I mean, their features were incredible. And these women are incredible in the things they're doing. Their own stories are stories so amazing they need to be told a million times over. And then you combine them all into one store and it's like, where do you even start?
Right.
They're
Well,
doing
on your
incredible.
Instagram.
Yeah, on my Instagram. But they're all truly doing incredible things. Like I'm thinking of one maker we have in Dallas who hand makes fabric dolls.
Oh, fun.
And she does it for all kids, but especially kids with disabilities.
Okay.
And so if someone's born with like looks a little different from everyone else, has a birthmark on their face, something, she makes a doll that can replicate them.
Oh,
So they don't feel so
they don't
alone.
feel like alone.
You know, like
I love that.
each story is so moving and comes from such a deep personal experience that it's not just some mug.
Yeah,
It's never some mug.
And that's why.
Yeah.
And that's why we're willing to pay more for it.
Exactly.
And why you should pay more for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not just the impact that this has on the community. I mean, the women who have joined and are part of your Mosaic Collective must just feel elevated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What a neat thing.
I hear that from them a lot.
I'll bet.
I very much always want to hear that from them because it's it's why I do this. But we've had so many wins for these women across the board, and I took some time at the end of the year this past year to do like a wrapped. You know how Spotify does
yeah.
We were like, let's make one for Mosaic. Let's see
Sure.
what we've done. And so I ran some numbers, and it's amazing.
Really?
Everything from individuals like getting out of debt to opening their own stores.
Really?
To,
Oh,
we've
neat.
given over 1.25 million back to these women over the course of the last few years.
Jeez.
It's really amazing to see the impact it's had. And whether it's one small story and one sale or one big win, they feel so good. That's like that fuels me. It keeps me going because, and looking at that was very humbling. It surprised me a bit.
I'll bet.
We've gone even further than I've realized, and I'm so thankful.
That must have been neat to just be like, oh gosh, we did that.
It
You
was
did
cool.
that.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Does that fuel your fire for like, yes, the next 5 years I'm down?
I'm like, how much more can we do? Let's go.
I love that.
Yes.
I definitely see it in other states. Like, I don't know. It sounds replicatable. Is that a word? Replicable?
Yeah.
Replicable. My bad. It sounds replicable. And if you have the back end,
Exactly.
that software sounds like that will just be.
Because it took us a few years to really get the hang of it.
Yeah.
As it does with every business. And now that we feel like we're more efficient and streamlined and could open a new location again, we're just in a better place to really grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Wow. Okay. Is there anything you want listeners to know that we haven't touched on? Just kidding.
I don't think so.
I think we've hit a lot of
We've hit a
high
whole
points.
lot, and I'm a broken record, but these women are really incredible. So I would just say take time to go to our website.
Okay.
There's a link at the top to see every artisan bio, and you can click in and read about these women.
Neat. Okay.
Visit their social media accounts. It's just like this vault of incredible creativity. And so I really encourage people to read about a maker, a specific maker, and get to know their story too.
Very cool. Do you differentiate between locations, like
Yes.
where they are? Okay.
We have a page that has all of them, and then you can separate into just Dallas or just Waco, and some overlap, so they'll be in both.
Very cool. And not in any way to like, oh, I only want to shop for Dallas. But if you're in Dallas and you want to put your money
totally.
back into Dallas, or if you're here in Waco Town and you want to put your money back into Waco, then
Exactly.
right, that's a good way to figure out that you're doing that.
Exactly.
Very cool. So are you ready for Spring at the Silos?
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I mean, this is the first year they've extended it.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
And I'm thankful. That'll help
Yeah.
us tremendously.
I'll
And
bet.
our team is just like eagerly planning pop-ups and events and getting things ready so we can be out there too and enjoying the crowds and hopefully giving away some free Topo Chico. So
Very cool. Okay. Well, Katy, thank you so much for coming in today.
thank
and
you so
chatting.
much. Thank you for having me. This was great.
Nice.
I'm so excited to be in Waco and to share my story.
Yeah, thank you. And we are happy to have you. And I'm so excited. I've been in Mosaic Makers, but
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to go back and look at it with a fresh perspective.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening in and you're thinking, yep, I need to go do that too. I need to go buy a mug. I just just need to go do something to support these ladies, please do. Do you want to give the exact address?
Sure. It's 501 South 8th Street, the Percy Medicine Building. Just kitty corner from Magnolia Press.
It's right there across from coffee. I mean, all the things you need.
You can't go wrong.
Pick up a couple gifts, get your nails. I mean, it's a good little corner. Well, I love to walk through Magnolia home too.
Yes.
It smells
gorgeous.
good and it's pretty.
Yes.
So much cleaner than my house. But don't
too.
forget to go to mosaicmakers.co, which don't listen to me. Just go into the show notes and click on the link. It's easier that way for everybody anyway. And be sure to check out all the bios, look at what they offer and what is being made in these locations, and then walk your happy butt to one of the locations and pick up something fun.
Yes, please.
Please. Very cool. Everybody, that was Mosaic Makers Collective, and this is What's Up Waco.
Topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.